Every commercial real estate investor underwrites the purchase price, but so many deals blow up not because of the price of the property, because of the closing costs involved with buying the asset. My team's done $1.6 billion in transactions, and I've seen so many deals make it all the way to the finish yard and not close because they're not anticipating how much it's going to cost, what's involved, because so much more in this down payment. I'm gonna break down for you in this video literally A to Z closing costs for buyers and for sellers. Help you have a clear picture on what to expect, what to save up, and how to make your next investment a grand slam deal for you or for your partners. So without further ado, let's hop in to how it actually works. I made a whole checklist that we use internally for our clients to make sure that the best deal is moving forward. Now, when you're looking at closing costs, it is again way more than just agent fees and lender fees. It's way more than also down payment. When we come down to it, we're looking at number one, loan and financing costs. If you're using debt, obviously. If you're not using debt, it's all cash. You won't have this involved, which will save you a lot of money, around 2-3%. Now, number one, of course, the loan origination fee, which is 0.5 to 1.5%, depending on who you use and how it's structured. Yeah, legal fees, which is another $5,000 to $25,000. Appraisals, another $3,000 to $15,000, depending on the asset you have, how big the property is going to be for you. Yeah, environmental reports, phase 1 and phase 2. This can cost you tons and tons of money that many investors never think about. And again, most of the gurus you're watching online are making it sound super simple and affordable, which it can be. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that you are undertaking a huge investment. This is why you want to know how much you're going to spend up front. Yeah, product condition reports, engineering and structure reports, Alta, lender title insurance, recording fees, UCC searches and filing. All these fees add up more and more over time, ranging from 3 to 10K, 2 to 15K, 2 to 10K. Title insurance. You have debt placement if that is a thing as well for your deal. That's number one. Number two, your legal and professional fees. Now, in commercial real estate, you probably already know this, but a lot of times, a lot of the deals are being kind of, ushered by not only just the agent, but also title companies sometimes, but more often not by the attorneys themselves. You have attorney as a buyer and as a seller. That can cost you $25,000+, depending on how big the deal is, who your lawyer is, and so forth. You have new entities always being created and also good standing. Let's say you have a deal. I'm here in Austin, Texas. I have a client buying a deal in Mississippi. He has the LLC already in place and making a new one for that state to help us have better protection for his new asset. This is pretty affordable more often than not. You have securities attorneys if you're raising capital. That's $10,000 to $50,000. You have a CPA and counting setup fees. My CPA is honestly more than this. So you can spend even more than this alone. Cost segregation study, great for taxes, but another $515K, which is a good investment on the backside. Next on our list, you have title, escrow, and closing fees. This is what most people anticipate. They think about this alone and not the countless other fees added up. And also, I'm going to break down for you too a real example of how much it's going to cost later on, so it can be a clearer picture of what to expect. We have title searches and exams. This is 1 of 3K. Title endorsements, escrow and closing costs. That's $2,000 to $10,000. You have recording fees. That's $300 of 3K, and of course, if required, gap coverage. Then you have due diligence costs. This is zoning reports, estoppel certificates per tenant. It adds up a lot, especially in multifamily. More often than not, though, your estoppels are going to be mostly used for commercial spaces like offices, not mostly like stores and stuff like that. So you probably won't see that often. So it won't be a huge fee for you guys or gals on that side, actually. You have lease audit, 1 to 5K. rent verifications, you have utility verifications, you have general inspections. It can add up a lot. Even a small deal for, say, $600,000 can cost you $1,000 for just inspections. And then these are not totally fees, but it is cash that will be involved in the deal. This is operations and cash to close items. This is property taxes, which should be very based on closing costs, very based on the date, and so forth. You have insurance prepaid, $3,000 to $20,000 or more, depending on the size of the asset. A lot of my clients who have family offices are spending a lot of this because they know we have a lot of really big deals. You have rent projections, which is deal specific. You have security deposit, utilities, replacement revenues if it's a lender involved in that who wants this kind of things. Multifamily, expect $250 to $400 per unit. You have CapEx reserves. This is so big. A lot of investors don't think about how much it's going to be to help you actually make this property a really good asset. Because more often than not, it's probably safe to assume here, you're probably buying Class C or B, which needs to be stabilized and upgraded. So CapEx reserves and also OpEx reserves. $10K to $100K, $25K to $250,000, depending on how big the staffing is. Like, for example, what we're doing right now, we're working on is $3 million, and the payroll is like $200K a year. So, like, for 12 months, $200K we should have in reserve just for that alone. So, like, really take into consideration how much does it cost to, like, run a business, like what you're buying in the day. You're buying a business and an asset. So these fees add up a lot. So never just drain. If you have, let's say, $200,000 or $1 million to invest in a property, you should have some buffer zone just for reserves. Next on our list is be seller closing costs. So we listed all buyers for most of them. More often than not, sellers will pay for broker commissions, 3 to 6%, 3 for the seller agent, 3 for the buyer's agent. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, depending on the structure and also the agent and also the clients. You have seller's attorney, $5,000 to $15,000. You have owner title policy. You have transfer fees, which is going to be 0 to 2% based on the state you're investing in. Like for me, we help all clients in all 50 states. And if you want help as well, you want to save at least 5 to 6 figures on your next investment, down below, link in the description, I'll call me directly and walk you through the best strategy. If I don't save you 5 or 6 figures, you don't invest in our own services. We work for free for you. And so far, we have 0 people take that in terms of being free for our services. So we make you so much more money with our help that our commission means pretty much nothing to you. You're still making so much more money you would normally by yourself. Now, that aside, back to our presentation. You have all escrow fees, which is sometimes split. You have loan payoffs and lease releases. Now, this can range from a couple $100 all the way up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes, even if the deal is really, really big. So, like, this is a huge, huge range, obviously, based on that. And then items you can negotiate. Surveys is negotiable. Environmental reports is negotiable. You can also do escrow and title fees. You can either split up 50-50 from buyers and sellers, or just the sellers, just the buyers. You have estoppels. You have transfer taxes and broker fee structure. Like sometimes the buyer may actually pay the buyer's agent for the commission, or vice versa for the seller side. Now, here's kind of the real world costs to make it super easy. I know looking at this list is overwhelming. It's a lot of different things added up, and it feels like a lot, and it is. Now, for a math film, if you're doing a finance CRE deal, expect to pay around 2 to 5% in closing costs of that property before adding in your down payment. Now, down payment can be as low as 10% or nothing if it's seller financing, all the way up to 30, 40% sometimes, depending on the lender and the deal you're buying. Now, for our cash, closing costs be 0.5 to 2%. And of course, you have way more power of negotiation. You can close quicker, you can control terms as well. So all these things add up a lot in the day. Now, here's a real example of a buyer closing costs. Now, this would be kind of off a little bit, but more often than not, pretty close by. So let's say you're buying a property that is $1 million. Let's say it is a multifamily deal, 15 units, nothing crazy, $1 million. Your P&I would be 5.2K per month. This is going to calculate for us our DSCR at the end of the day. Again, up above, a whole video that breaks down for you underwriting. Hope you have a clear understanding how that works. Down below, we have taxes. This is estimate, and you have insurance. Now, on this side, we have our closing costs for the buyer and for the investor, for you. This is $200K down on a $1 million property, 20% down. We have our prepaids, which is $370,000. And then we have our fixed costs, which is $42,000. Now, a further breakdown, we have our prepaid. We have our insurance, we have our taxes, we have our 15 days of interest as of today. Now, below this, we have our title fees. This is our title policy. We have our GOC fee, escrow fees, or T19 endorsements, mortgage endorsements, attorney fees. This here is small. This form of showing you right now is normally used for residential real estate, but it's not a fancy one for commercial outside of just a lender doing it for us. So this is not the true price. It'll be way more than this. We have flood certificates, we have tax services, we have courier and wire transfers, and then we have lending fees. For this deal, around $8,000 for this kind of property. Appraisal, probably more than $500 on commercial real estate. We have our reports. Home inspections will not be this price. It's probably around $1,000 or more for commercial real estate. We have processing fees, survey fees, underwriting fees, and of course, this is also a different fee as well. But broker fee 3%, normally to the seller side, which is always going to be there. And then we have our seller example. For sellers, you can see here, let's say the property is worth $1 million, is all paid off because they hate debt. They're a big fan, Dave Ramsey. That could be, $1.1 thousand for prorated taxes and closing costs, which is $67,000. The breakdown is all on a title policy. You have escrow fees, attorney fees. And again, commercial real estate, probably a bit more, like maybe $80,000 to $100,000 instead. Release fees, home warranty or warranties, associations that is involved, probably not for commercial. And then, of course, the biggest ones would be our agent fees on this side, besides anything else. And this is how you can really understand kind of the expenses, mostly the closing costs, how much to help you buy the next investment. Now, if you want this whole thing for yourself, all for free, down below, link in the description, have a call with me directly. I'll give it to you, the free bonus, even if you don't work together, so you have that for yourself as well. Or just go back to this video and take screenshots as you watch. Now, again, this will help you so much get the best deals and not lose them. You understand how much it's going to cost to bring money to the table as you get the next investment you have in mind. Now, of course, over here, I have a whole video that breaks down for you A to Z on how to do commercial real estate, from finding deals and how to negotiate deals to doing the whole process and everything else. Down below that, I have a whole playlist for you that shows you kind of everything A to Z for all things commercial real estate for you, for even more context. Now, you're saying to yourself, this is a lot. I want more support and more help. No obligations. Again, down below, link in the description. I'll call me directly. I'll help you save 5 to 6 figures in the next investment, or we work for free. Yes, you heard that right. If you want that for yourself, down below, book a call. But as always, thanks for watching. Have the best day yet. I'll see you at the top. Glad to have you here.